Is suicide the end of life? No. Welcome everyone. Welcome to this program. That's Child Death Awareness Program. Under that, we welcome you for the prevention of youth suicide. I'm going to talk about the suicide, why this is happening, and how we can prevent that, which is not a big incident that we should be concerned about suicide. So, is the solution for all the problem suicide? If you think about, or if you question me, I would say no. And if you ask if that can be prevented, I would say definitely. You should definitely prevent that, because if a person fails in anything, whether it's a business or running an organization or being a manager or being an artist, if you put an album and if that album doesn't go well, suicide is not the only solution. It's never a solution, not even a workaround. So the main motto is to focus on the solution rather than going to the dead end, which is suicide. So suicide is nothing but you're going to a dead end. You don't have nothing in your path, and you're going to quit it. So by committing suicide, you're not giving a solution to your problem. Instead, you're getting more problem to others surrounding you. Hope everyone understands what I mean. So if you question me, I'd say no. Let's work it out. So that's what I say. If it fails, let's find another solution. Maybe there should be a solution in a different way. Maybe you have gone in a different direction. So you could have used Google Maps, but not all the time you will reach the destination. Sometimes it would reach a different place. So it doesn't mean that you should quit there and commit suicide. That sounds funny, right? Yeah. So that is what you should think about whenever you want to commit suicide. Is it the only thing, or this is the only workaround left, or is it the only solution left? I would say yes, go ahead, because there is no point in living, right? So with that, not only in India, globally, people aged between 15 to 29, the youth especially, they don't know how to handle a situation, and they commit suicide. And that's the second leading death rates in the death category, which is leading to suicide is the second leading cause of death. If someone natural death comes in, that's completely okay. Or if a person meets up with an accident and he or she is dead, that's completely okay. But this is what is suicide. You should not. This is something that you decide yourself. Maybe it's not your destiny, and you're picking yourself. You're carrying a big rock. You're not supposed to. I mean, there's no need of carrying a big rock and putting on your own head. Instead, actually, you can do a lot better other things, which where there is no solution provided. You can just pick up the task, do the work, and try to fix that thing. So instead of going and committing suicide. Okay. So with that, in globally, youths are committing more suicide because they are not aware of what to do. So that is where we come into picture. So you want to create an awareness that suicide is not a solution. It's just it is just like a fever that you get it. Suicide is not a one-day task, or it doesn't come in all of a sudden. So it's a path. It's a journey of a person. What's the end of, or when do I feel to commit suicide? Or when I feel the depression, frustration, dryness, nothing is going to happen, and then I commit. So on day one, I don't do it. On day one, for a failure, I get impacted by that failure, and I think about what to do next. If I don't think about that, it starts like gradually it starts burdening yourself. It will be in your corner of your head one day, and it passes through your mind as a big rock or a big thing or a big mountain. When it was so small, if you would have handled that situation, this wouldn't have come. So the moment you meet up a failure, just sit down, see why you failed that first thing. If you have done everything right, That's okay. Use as a stepping stone. Don't get it and make it a big mess out of it. Okay. So with that, I just would like to introduce um, about the youths who are facing this issue, not knowing how to overcome it. When a person is small, as a child, that's the golden, or that's God's gift. First thing is, God has given a child to you. That's a gift from God, no matter what, because you cannot create a child. You can manufacture a fan, a car, whatnot, but you cannot create a baby. It's completely from God. Okay, so it's a God's gift. So if you get a gift from a person who is so unique, who is so powerful, it's your responsibility to keep it safe and drive it safe. When I say drive it safe, lead them safe, teach them safe, and get them into a safe place. Okay, so, and the childhood, those days are like a golden opportunity or golden time frame. You can never get it back again. It's an irreversible process, or irreversible thing which you cannot get it. So just leave them. Nowadays we have child, not children. We have one person in our house. Earlier they used to have like 10 children at the house, 15, gradually reduced to 4, 3, 2, and now 1. And now they're even trying to reduce that. So they don't want to have babies. So childhood is a golden part of life. You should not constrain them or restrict them within the four walls, giving all the laptops, all the gadgets that we have in this world. But instead, let them go out, play, enjoy themselves. That is when they learn the real characteristics. Though they watch YouTube videos on how to behave, what are the magic words, but when they learn it from experience, when they play around, go around, and then when they learn it, that's impacting their mind the more than they watch it. When they watch it, they just watch it, but nobody's there to tell them, use them when you talk to other person. No, but when you go and speak, when they go and speak out to their children, their friends, their fathers, their friends' father, the grandparents, they will teach, oh, no, you're not supposed to talk like this. Instead, say sorry. Welcome them. So that's the thing which we've been gone through, and it's been proven day after that this is something that is, when you get experience from the field, that's more impactful than you read it. I would say example is MBA courses that we do. When we read textbooks, it is always a textbook, but when you go out to the field and talk to the person, you get the experience on how they react and how to respond back. You will go and research back and see how to respond to these kind of questions. You know where you would have fallen down or where you haven't responded right. So when you make a small note of it, you go back, you research, come back. So you grow from the experience. That is what we should give it to the kids. So we should not, entreat them, and we should not implement, or we should not push things, into their minds, or to do the things like a robot. So leave to them, let them enjoy their childhood life, and they learn more from observing things. They look at you, they look at your parents, their friends, grandfather, they see everything and they think, okay, this is what I should do, and they follow it regularly, religiously, or unknowingly, or in subconscious mind. It is embedded for them that, okay, if there's a situation, I should do this. Okay, and one other thing which makes them overburden is the studies. Whenever they play, we should not tell them, oh, he's playing or she's playing, let's make him to read. No, the interest should come automatically. You should create an interest towards that study. You can research on it. It's not you teach them, you create interest. That's the bottom line. You create that interest. When they want to watch movie, you will create an interest on that particular movie name. You will tell some teasers, or you will ask them, you will show them the ads on the pictures on the movie that you're going to watch it, or you want him or her to watch it. You will create some interest. So that's how you should create interest, instead of overburdening them to study all the time. So which is not a solution to the studies. Even if they study for all the time, they cannot concentrate on it, and hence they can't learn everything out of it. So even if they study for 2 hours, only probably effective time would be 20 minutes or 10 minutes out of that hour of the time. So it's, in other words, you're wasting time of his, right? Don't overburden them with what you missed to do in your life. Probably you could have been you wanted to become a soccer player, football player, and you couldn't do it because of some reason. Don't try to implement that. Don't try to impose that on the kids to study or to play, whatever that you want, or whatever there is in your mind. Okay. So next thing, psychiatrist says that in a single class there are about 20% of the student suffering from this anxiety or depression. That is purely because of parental and academic and peer pressure. When I say parental, they should say you have to score first mark. You should be the topper of the school, topper of the class, topper of the state. So when you say that, that creates pressure, and that will build up on day after day. When you keep saying those words, that keeps building them, though they might not have that interest to become a topper of the class. So it keeps building, and at the same time you would have communicated the same thing to the teacher. As a teacher, she or he would tell the same thing to the person, and he or she will start hating studies if he or she is not interested. So, and then peer pressure. Even the same thing would be communicated by the parents. Even she or he would be depressed with the same concern. You should become a topper, and there will be a fight between, not a physical fight but a virtual fight for whatever thing. They don't share things with each other. That grows up, and that gap builds, that small thing builds a gap between the peers. And if you don't have a friendly environment, definitely you can't put your 100% effort